What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, North Carolina Tar Heels basketball. Specifically, we're going to have some fun bouncing around some scheduling ideas for the Tar Heels. Everybody loves loves scheduling stuff. They love when this non-conference football opponent in Carolina will meet in 2086 and 2088 in a home and home. People get excited over that stuff. I think they get a little bit more excited over basketball because it tends to be more games against power conference teams because of the way basketball is. You don't get a whole lot of that in football outside your league. So I'm going to throw around some ideas. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your ideas are. What are some really interesting non-ACC basketball scheduling ideas that you've had for a long time that you want to share, or maybe you come up with during the course of this show or afterward? I'd like to know. This could be a lot of fun because I think it'd be there are a lot of games I would love to see Carolina play. From a selfish standpoint, as someone who covers every game, I'd love to see them go play at Montana. I hear that Montana's got a cool environment, right? And I haven't been to Montana, so let's go play there. I got to go cover that game. That'd be great. It'd be a way of getting Carolina's name out there. Wouldn't really do a whole lot of good. Of course, they're never going to do that. I get it. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of neat stuff you can come up with, either games at strange places that you don't really think about much, like Montana or McNeese State or something like that, or games against power conference teams, doubleheader there, national TV, made for TV game in Boston against Connecticut or whatever, all kinds of crazy stuff. Fun stuff, because basketball scheduling is a lot of fun. So I'm going to throw around some ideas here, and I know what you guys think about these and your own ideas. And I got to thinking about this because the CBS Sports Classic that Carolina's participated in since 2014 is getting old and stale. Kentucky, Carolina, UCLA, Ohio State. It's getting old. And since the NCAA does it in conferences, don't really like the idea of teams in their own league meeting in non-conference tournaments, that puts a little bit of a question mark over the future of this field if the event continues past this year. The reason is because Ohio State, Big Ten, Kentucky, SEC, Carolina, ACC, UCLA, previously Pac-12, now Big Ten, they're in the same league with Ohio State. So probably not going to play each other in it. So what's the point in having the round robin? So let's just say, for the sake of discussion, the CBS Sports Classic is going to go away. Also, this is the third year of the Jordan Brand event in Charlotte. Maybe that goes away too. That opens up 3 games. Whatever the case may be, I think the CBS Sports Classic probably going to be gone, or there's going to be a swap. Someone else will come in, someone from the Big 12. Maybe they replace Ohio State with a Kansas or an Iowa State, which I don't think they would do, but who knows? Maybe it's a Big East team. Maybe Villanova comes in. I can see that happening. So let's throw out some fun scheduling ideas for the Tar Heels. Things I think that would really spice up the schedule, would be interesting. One of the things I've always thought would be really neat are conference doubleheaders. Now, we've already got the ACC-SEC Challenge, but the doubleheader I'm going to propose here is obviously can't happen if these teams are scheduled to meet in the ACC-SEC Challenge. So if it's on the schedule for the following year, the ACC and SEC just don't have them play in the challenge. I think it would be neat to see Carolina and NC State team up in doubleheaders together. For example, Carolina against Georgia, State against Auburn in Atlanta, a doubleheader. And a year later, play the same doubleheader in Greensboro, but swap it. Carolina against Auburn, State against Georgia. How about Carolina and State against Villanova and St. John's in Madison Square Garden, and a year later, switch the opponents and they play in Greensboro? How about UCLA and USC in Crypto.com Arena 1 year, the next year in Greensboro, just switch the opponents. I think doubleheaders are cool. And I'd even like to see it in Raleigh. If State could do that and it not be a part of State's season ticket plan, I think that'd be really cool. Really, really cool. And it would fill up. No matter who Carolina State played, it would fill up. Or how about some of you older fans might remember the Dixie Classic, or you may have learned about the Dixie Classic. My dad used to attend that when he was in college. A lot of great college teams would come into Raleigh and they'd play 8 teams, 3 games, 3 days, and it was a phenomenal event. It went away. But how about something sort of similar to that? You can call it the Tobacco Road Classic, although it probably wouldn't flow anymore simply because the tobacco aspect of it. People don't really like to say Tobacco Road anymore. Call it whatever you want. The Oak City Classic, call it whatever you want. But how about an 8-team event in Greensboro or even in Raleigh? And this is why State should build its own arena on campus, a replica essentially of Reynolds, maybe on the Centennial campus, go back there, and then use PNC for a lot of stuff like this. How about this 8-team event? You want to get a couple local schools, and you can also do this in Greensboro, some regional schools, but then you want to be national. How about Carolina, ECU, NCA&T, and then you have San Diego State, South Carolina, Providence, Illinois, and Kansas State. You've got the major conferences touched. You've got some smaller local regional schools. I think it'd be cool. NC State hosted a tournament in November 2004. Oregon State was in it. It wasn't a great event as far as the field goes, but it was kind of cool. Packed it pretty well with the crowds on Friday and Saturday nights. Had ECU one of those nights. I think ECU may have been the title game. I covered that. I think that'd be really cool. Do that in Greensboro, do that in Raleigh. Or, and I've thought this for a while, Carolina's going to play 32 games in regular season this year because they go to Hawaii, and that's a sanctioned game. So that doesn't count against your allotted 31, and it's 31 if you play one of those sanctioned multi-team events, MTEs. But the NCAA should add a game to the schedule, especially because, and I'm a sidebar here for a minute, with the stupid net being so important and determining things so early in the year, teams have got to play more non-conference games so we get a feel for who they are. And maybe it would entice the Big 12 to go out and play some quality non-conference teams. Add a game to the schedule, and that gives you a little bit of flexibility. And that way Carolina could go play on the road against some of these smaller programs like it used to do. Not that long ago. Hubert's first year, they played at College of Charleston, and I think their 3rd game. Roy's next to last team played at UNCW. The 2018-19 team opened the season at Wofford and then played at Elon. Roy had a team that played at UNC Asheville. I covered first Carolina basketball game I ever covered was early December 1996. Carolina played at VMI in Lexington, Virginia. It also played at Princeton that year. I've covered Carolina at Old Dominion. I think it'd be neat to go play one of those kind of road games. I think it's good for the team. They get to travel, play a road game, play in a somewhat hostile environment. I think it's good for them. I remember a long time ago asking Leonard Hamilton about some of his scheduling when he was starting to get Florida State completely turned around. I think one year they opened up, like they played at Jacksonville. They played maybe at North Florida. They played at Stetson, teams like that. Yeah, they were clubs that they should beat, but they were road wins. And road wins are going to give you a good mojo. So I think it'd be cool to see Carolina play every year a road game, maybe in state or nearby. Go play it at Liberty. Go play at Radford. Go play at William and Mary. I think one of Dean's teams back in the early 80s played at William and Mary. I think that'd be really cool. Just make the schedule more fun and interesting. Maybe go play at East Carolina. Mitch's Coliseum is not small and it can get loud. Imagine the Tar Heels rolling in there one Saturday afternoon at 4:00. The place would be a buzz, man. It'd be a hornet's nest. And it would be great for basketball in the state. And as a guy who has no stake in the matter, it would be fun. I'm just looking at ways to make the schedule more fun. And I think some of these ideas would probably do it. Tell me if I'm crazy. If you don't like the ideas, just say so. I'm cool with that. If you have different ideas, let us know. I'd love to know what your ideas are. I do think it's probably time CBS Sports Classic either changes, swaps out a couple of teams, or at least one and brings in somebody new, or maybe just goes away. Maybe a whole new group of teams, freeing up Carolina to have more fun with its schedule. I'd like to see that. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know all your ideas. And also make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Click the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload videos, and share this with your friends. Let your Tar Heel friends know we're here. I'm Andrew Jones, and thank you for stopping by.